Hello, welcome to the Daily Political Tarot Readings here on the Black and Orange channel. Thank you so much for being here. Seriously, I really appreciate it. Boy, have we got something to talk about today right up front, because flames coming out of the side of my head. But we'll get to that in a second. Thank you for being here. I am here 365 days of the year to take your political questions out of the chat. You just put your questions in all caps. Anything in the in general, anything in the chat in all caps. That's how you talk to me. Other than that, please type normally, because people here talk to each other and help each other and have full conversations. So I'll know when something's directed at me and when you guys are just helping each other, chatting amongst each other, checking in with friends and stuff. It's really great. 10% of my income from anything black and orange goes to feedingamerica.org, which supplies food to food banks across the country. That's an ongoing thing. I just got a low internet warning. So if I disappear, the audio will usually continue going. Sometimes the video might freeze up in places until it corrects itself, or if it gets so bad it kicks me off, I will come right back as soon as possible. So it usually takes a few minutes for the if it kicks me off, I have to reset the modem, which usually takes just a few minutes, but it's coming back. All right. We have epic troll slayers who keep us safe and make this possible. Thank you. And if you're watching this on replay, hello, you can go down in the description box. All the questions are there, and you can everything will be timestamped. I timestamp as I go. So every live stream is timestamped. You can just go down, click on what you're interested in, get in, get out, and or if you're watching something and I get distracted or something, you can just go, okay, when's the next question? Doop. Moving on. It's very easy for you, and it takes effort to do all this, but you're worth it. Okay, so Harold's asking, how was pumpkin this morning? Much better, and I did get the feel away. I did a special overnight deal, so there are 2 of those set up now, and he's much happier. And I woke up early to go get it and put everything in, and he got lots of attention, and so he got to look out the open window. He got to there's a sink in the utility room, and his favorite thing to do is jump up on there, and if you'll give him a little water out of the utility room sink. So we did that, and I petted him while he did that, and he was just all happy. So good. Lecter Storm says, what are you talking about? Pumpkin, my cat. Yesterday, I have 2 cats. They're both rescues. And he kind of, poor Pumpkin, brave Sir Alfred of Pumpkin, he worked himself up into kind of a state yesterday, and so I got some plugins with the feel away to help calm and giving him extra attention. So all's well in Kitty Land, as far as I can tell. They both seem very happy today. Okay, so there's that. Okay, so at 4 minutes in. There's actually a question here. It's about the actual question is, Fauci is shocked that Trump was recently booed when he admitted he'd gotten the COVID booster. How far gone are the far-right followers who refuse to vaccinate and continue to put people in harm's way by spreading the virus? If they won't listen to Trump, will they listen to anyone? Okay, that's the question. Story time. If any of you know, Sarah has been on here a few times with me. She is not only my best friend, but the main thing we talk about is for years. We've been best friends for like a decade, and mainly we talk about business stuff and our own working on our own businesses and all this kind of stuff. So she's not only my best friend, she's my business best friend, and she's just great. She's a sweetheart. She has 3 kids of her own. She took in 3 foster kids. She's dealing with so much, and she just has the biggest heart, so and you've seen her come on here. So two of her children have been going to a particular nearby church, and they've been doing all the social events to do with that and whatnot. Great. Awesome. And she's like, hey, that's what they want to do. Good for them. She herself is Baptist, but I believe, I don't know what the church is. She and her husband, they don't care. It's like, look, you're teenagers, but you can choose your own religion, so thank you, Lynn. So anyway, there was a big get together, and the church got together to go. There was some kind of trip or something gathering, and her 2 children who went, one is a son, one is a daughter. Well, the son is really good friends with the son of, what shall we call her? Mary. We'll call her Mary. Mary's son, Sarah's son, they're good friends. Sarah's daughter, Barry's daughter, are friends. Great. They go on a trip at the church. Great. They come back. Fine. Day or 2 before Christmas, right? And Sarah's doing all this cooking because she's having the universe descending upon her for Christmas, right? I mean, seriously, she starts sending you like the list of everything she's baking. It's like giant turkey, giant ham at the same time. And then you start going down the list of pies, and it's this, big, all this cooking. She's doing all this cooking. She has her father, the man who raised her, and then she has her biological father, who has got serious lung problems, and does not have 100 years ahead of him. Let's put it that way. Various other people. And there is the foster kids. She knows their mother, who's now taking care of one of them and has a new baby. Okay. So the night before Christmas, on Christmas Eve, Sarah gets this phone call from, I don't know who it was. Might have been Mary herself. Oh no, that was it. It wasn't a phone call. Mary came to drop off Sarah's son. And Sarah works in this office in an outbuilding by her house. And Mary came out and was talking to Sarah, came in, talked to Sarah, walked out. Turns out, yes, indeed. She is anti-vax, anti-mask, and she's got COVID. And she found out she had COVID before she came and spent time with Sarah's son, possibly daughter, can't remember exactly. Went in and talked to Sarah. She knew she was sick. And because this had happened over the previous couple of days, this is a super spreader event. I mean, it's literally you have everyone in Sarah's immediate family. You have the daughter. There was at least the daughter, if not more of the children who were with Sarah's biological father with the lung problems. She spread it to him. It has spread and spread and spread and spread. It's just running through the whole thing. She is livid. Understandably, she's being much more reasonable about this than I would be. And now, remember I mentioned the woman who just had the baby? I won't share it, but apparently the mother of that baby just sent Sarah a picture of that baby in the hospital with an IV. Why is this not illegal? Why? What? Why is this not illegal? So I want to start with, will this become illegal? Can this become illegal? I mean, seriously, you knew you were sick. You knew you were sick. And you knowingly went out without masks, without disinfecting. And now you have got elderly people sick. You've got a baby sick in the hospital. I mean, it's infuriating. So, Electra Storm says, I want to fight for your friend Sarah. That woman is disgusting. Tell her I am on my way. Oh, and Kathy Anderson, I'm with you. Many of the swear words. Yes. Yes. Allison Jacobs says, yes, will people be allowed to sue? Hello, Allison. Jelly is saying I would be homicidal. That person's flat evil. Oh. There's a different relative. No, it's not even a relative. But there's somebody else that there's somebody else that Sarah knows, somebody else who has actually been to prison for harassment, like verbal harassment, phone harassment, calling, being annoyed, what have you. And Sarah's just like, I need to make sure that this person does not get Mary's phone number, does not figure out where Mary lives, because I do not want this person to go back to prison. And that's the other thing I wanted to ask. We talk a lot about, are these anti-vax nuts going to be violent? How much violence is there going to be in response? You start messing with people's kids? Oh, man. Man. Wait, I like that. Teresa Ford is saying, I'd have a huge sign on my lawn stating that woman's name, the names of all she infected. Yep. See, Torino says, Sarah is so sweet. She does not deserve it. Oh, absolutely. Colleen says, is Sarah okay? This makes me mad and sad. I think so. She seems okay, but this thing is spreading like wildfire through her family now. Through her extended family, her current family and extended family. So Yeah, and last I heard, her biological father is old friends with the pastor at the church, and her biological father is going to have a chat with the pastor. So, Kathy Anderson says, I volunteer my service. Thank you, guys. Thank you, guys. And lots of prayers. Thank you. Thank you. I'm trying to find the humor. You know, I don't believe in violence, or no, I don't. But when something like this has happened, the jokes about things you could do, as long as it's just a joke, you know, it's like getting mad enough at somebody that you go like, you like sew small fish into the hems of their curtains so that you get the smell and that you can never figure out where it's coming from. That's just me. Don't ever do that. But I'm not going to say that there's no one who deserves that. Don't do it. But there are people who deserve that. But don't do it. Taylor B says, I want mask mandates everywhere. Yeah, and the Supreme Court's going to be ruling on that here shortly. So, oh boy. So really it's really like 1630. Let's do, will being a super spreader become illegal or heavily sued? Maybe. Man, okay. Boy, there's so much writing in here. I can't actually save this. Oh well, we'll just have to keep our fingers crossed. All right. All right, so it's 1730. Will being a super spreader become illegal? Hippie Sue says, I never planned to go to the States again, but I'm in on being there for Sarah. I feel ill. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to upset you guys. Well, thank you guys. I'm glad you like the overlay. I just saw this and I just loved it. Just loved it. So, Allison Jacobs says, we may need to demand legal protection on a state-by-state basis. Something. Well, being a super spreader like this become illegal. She knew she was sick. She knew she was sick. And she kept it secret. Calm down. Calm down. Calm down. She's my best friend. And I know it's silly that, you know, it's not my family, not my kids. Still makes me crazy. Whew. All right, let's see what we've got. 5 of Pentacles. 5 of Pentacles. 5 of Wands. I've only been doing this for a week or so. 10 of Pentacles. Empress. Knight of Swords. 4 of Pentacles. So, I will. I'll pass on you all the love and support. Thank you. This is this is Trump's dynasty. This is his legacy. This is Trump's legacy. He pushed all this garbage, and now he suddenly changed his tune. Because he doesn't care. Whatever's best for him at the time, that is all he cares about. All you MAGA people, Trump doesn't care about you. He doesn't care if you live or die. He is a narcissist. They are incapable of caring about anyone but themselves. So all of this garbage, this is America, guy from America. This is aggressive legal action. And this is these people who think that they can do whatever they want. You know, they're little, instead of little bouquets of flower, it's like those are little COVID viruses, and they're just like, oh, coronavirus, who wants coronavirus? That's a point. Pamela Bryant, insurance companies have to start going after these people. Oh, yeah. Teresa Ford said, best friend's family are friends-in-law. Yeah. Yep. And they're, frankly, this is like what I say about, there are certain things you just don't do. And it's not always for the reason you think. I will use the example of cheating on your spouse. Okay. Ethically, bad idea. You gave your word. It will taint the rest of your marriage. You know, there are all these reasons you think I shouldn't do that. You start messing with people's spouses. If that person's married, that person's in a relationship, then you've got this person who's angry about that, who feels betrayed, who's, you know, because it isn't even just the person where you get a boiling bunnies kind of fatal attraction situation. Sometimes those people are in relationships too. Or they have brothers, or, you know, they have whatever, who will make your life awful. You will be in danger. Well, you're a super spreader. You just made these kids. There's a photograph of this baby with an IV who's in the hospital right now, who now has multiple problems because of catching this. You think that you can just, you think that can happen? That happened with my poor friend's, Sarah's. It's complicated. But if that happened there, how many other times is that happening across the country? Because those parents are not going to all be reasonable. I mean, they are, nay. They are not going to be reasonable. There are some parents out there who will be going to prison. So you want to be a super spreader? You think, herd immunity, or I don't feel like it. Do you know how many TV shows? My mother watches a lot of those true crime things. So-and-so was betrayed and went and killed whomever. And then killed this person and killed that and killed this. And this person was killed over here and that person was killed over there. You want to be on that show? You want your 15 minutes of fame? So, I'm sorry, I'm just talking and talking. It's like the whole show is just me talking about this. Aspie Third Eye says, we used to have civic duty too. So much for that. Poor Atha. Happy after Christmas, everyone. Happy after Christmas, Atha. Oh, yeah. Fruits of labor, on the defensive. Get a lawyer. Because there are some people who will be sued not just by one person. They'll be sued by multiple people they spread this to, knowingly spread this to. Doxy Mom says, what possible reasoning does that woman offer, if any? Anti-vax. Anti-mask. Same thing you've heard on the news. Bodily autonomy. It's not that serious. Cat Shepherd says, I got her 15 minutes of fame right here. Don Gubb says, we are fizzing with you, and the story is now being told by many others. Fizzing. That's a really great way to describe this. Exactly. That's exactly how I'm feeling. I'm fizzing. I like that. Hippie Sue says, we are good with you talking this through. Good. Linda Johnson says she should be charged for attempted murder. As manslaughter, yeah. How is this not attempted manslaughter? Taylor B says, how did she find out she had COVID and knew it? She was tested, came back positive. And then she's just walking around, no mask, going into enclosed places with people. I know you guys, I'm preaching to the converted. You guys, people who are anti-vax, anti-mask, they're not going to watch this. But I'll say this. Think about it this way. You think you have bodily autonomy. You think you can do whatever you want. Okay. I hope the least happens to you. The least. I hope you only get sued into the next century. Because there is a lot worse that's possible. Think about that. If you don't care about other people, you don't care what happens to others, you don't care that there is a baby in the hospital because of you, think of your pocketbook, which is obviously more important to you. Oh, boy. Doxy Mom says, we are here for you. I, for one, consider you and Sarah extended family. Oh, Doxy Mom, thank you. You guys are so sweet. You guys are so sweet. Thank you. Yes, Sarah's in Louisiana. Yeah. Born and raised. She's a good Southern girl. And she's so funny. When she gets really angry, she'll get more and more Southern, which her husband finds hysterical. And frankly, she gets me laughing too. She'll get other people laughing when she gets. I mean, obviously, if she's this is different. This is just a whole other level. But sometimes if she's mad at somebody, she'll tell you about it, and she starts getting upset, and she just gets more and more Southern, and it is funny. And she's got everybody laughing, and that's good. And then she feels better. Oh no, ma'am. Oh no, ma'am. Bless your heart. Linda Johnson, I agree. This is no different than taking a gun into a building. Yes. Sherry H says, that sounds like me. The angrier I get, the more Cajun I sound. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I did not want your lanyap. Thank you very much. Yeah. Oh boy. All right. So, will being a super spreader become illegal? Will they be heavily sued? We've answered that. Then, so the question, the original question at 30 minutes in, I'm sorry, I'm just blathering on. 30 minutes in, will these people on the far right, will they listen to anybody? They're not listening to Fauci. They're not listening to Trump. They're not listening to anybody. Hello, Mari. Oh, boy. So, are they going to listen to anybody? Well, not that's funny. Will they listen to anybody? Oh, boy. It's like beating your head against a wall. Look, you know, my parents were Trump supporters. Oh, jeez. And we don't talk about politics. And my father has started listening to Newsmax. He says it's better than Fox News. But they're both vaccinated. They're both boosted. They believe in the vaccine. They believe in science. It didn't take any convincing. They were like, pandemic. Scientists say, doctors say, go get the vaccine. I'm going to go get the vaccine. You don't, it's not like it's a given that you've had like a lobotomy if you are a supporter of farther to the right than is comfortable for people like me. I don't get it. But anyway, so yeah. And you would think that the politicians on the right would also not want to kill their voters. Yeah. Okay. Hermit. Ace of Pentacles, Page of Wands, King of Swords, Ten of Swords. Will they listen to anybody? Well, I feel like I need to do my own research. I'm a good Republican. I listen to right-wing media who says that General Patton was really Donald Trump's father, and they were both directly descended from Abraham Lincoln. No, they weren't. Vaccines. These are vaccine mandates. That feels like vaccine mandates kicking in. Wow. Wasn't I getting, you guys tell me, wasn't I getting that the Supreme Court is going to say, you know what? Vaccine mandates, you don't have to get it. You just, places where they have it, you just, you can always go live out in Montana. You don't have to get a vaccine. But if you want to be a federal worker, if you want to do all these different things, you need a vaccine. They say that. It's a pandemic. That's what I've been getting. I don't have that much faith in the Supreme Court, unfortunately, but Alicia's saying, yes, you were. Yeah. So this would make sense too, which is they're going to be vaccine mandates. So if you want to work, you're going to work in most places, you're going to need a vaccine. Wow. Yes. Candace Owen, thank you for reminding me, Don. Candace Owen was saying that the only reason Trump said that you should get a vaccine is because he's old and doesn't know how to use the internet. I will admit I do enjoy when they turn on each other. Okie dokie. Judith Saunders is saying AG Jeff Rosen. So this is under Trump. Issued a memo on March 24th, 2020, that because COVID meets the biological agent definition, knowingly spreading the disease could implicate terrorist statutes. Third Eye is saying, if they want to stand within 6 feet of me or ever enter my home again, they need to have sided with sanity and love in this time. Otherwise, they are dead to me. Oh, Kathy Anderson, have good luck out there. Doctor appointment and pain clinic and injections. Oh, Kathy Anderson, I hope good luck out there. Be safe. Good luck. I hope it goes well. So just having a quick look for comments. All right. Just having a look. Carolyn Carpenter says the internet doesn't make you a scientist. Agreed. Nano Walling is saying, I think the only reason Trump is now vaccinated is to deflect attention from his criminal activities. Or it could be criminal liability or civil liability. It could be a CYA. Oh, what do you mean? I'm for vaccine. All these times, see, people are mad at me because I'm for my vaccine. Okay. Harold McGuire saying vax mandates equal businesses not serving people due to religious reasons. Yeah, but some of that was turned Supreme Court. Eek. All right. So from that infuriating thing, we're going on to another infuriating thing. 3730. You're getting an emotional workout today, I'm afraid. Robert Cox was asking about the Emmitt Till anti-lynching bill. The questions were, will the Emmitt Till anti-lynching bill ever be passed? Will the DOJ hold the woman responsible for his death accountable? Why did the DOJ close the case? Okay. My understanding is that, with some help from Sarah, actually, the Emmitt Till anti-lynching bill, basically what happened, if you don't know what happened to Emmitt Till, the upshot is he was visiting relatives. He was from up north. He was visiting relatives down in the south, and he just went to the store to get some candy. He was newly 14 years old. Getting some candy. That's it. And there was a white woman there who went home and told her husband that this boy had whistled at her, knowing how angry her husband and his buddies were going to be. But I'm still trying to figure out why. Why would you do that? And I guess she felt uncomfortable. She didn't think he should be there. I don't know. But her husband and his buddies tortured and killed this poor kid. And then years later, during an interview, there was an interview, and most of it was caught on tape, but there was part of it that wasn't recorded. And apparently it said that in the part that wasn't recorded, she said that it didn't happen. He never whistled at her. And so they were going to take, years and years later, they were going to take her to court to hold her responsible for her part in this, because she knew what would happen. And she was in on it. She wasn't telling, as they were climbing into their trucks or whatever it was, she wasn't saying to them, no, stop. The reason that the DOJ is not followed through with this is because she has dementia now. And my understanding, I could be wrong, my understanding is this, her having said that was recent enough that, one, she's not competent to stand trial now. Two, she might not have been fully competent when she allegedly said that, or when she said that. So it's dementia. That's the reason the DOJ has closed the case. You can't take her to trial. She's not competent. She's not. But, and with the Emmitt Till anti-lynching bill, you'd think, well, yeah, why wouldn't that pass? Because it never has. There is not a single piece of legislation that says, oh, you can't lynch someone. They just say, oh, well, you know, if you can prove it's murder, if you can prove it's this, if you can prove it's a hate crime, people. It is its very own kind of hate crime. But no, we're just, nowhere is there anything that says in the law, lynching, bad. Karen B is saying that the Detroit Animal Welfare Group needs help. A son of an animal hoarder dropped off 836 parakeets on Sunday. Jeez. Man. So, Emmitt Till anti-lynching bill. Really? Oh boy, we're gonna need a nap after these readings. Betty Harper, yes, there is evil in the world. It's not all evil though, or we wouldn't be talking about this and we wouldn't be horrified. It's the fact that we're in this together and we are speaking out and we're here in a public forum and we're saying this is wrong. That means there's an awful lot of good in the world. That's the card of refusal. The person in the red shirt is refusing. It doesn't need to be anything that says you can't lynch someone. There's no need. There's no need. There doesn't need to be something that says lynching is a hate crime. You can use other statutes. You don't need that one. Oh, is Tucker Carlson, what was that? Tucker Carlson blaming women for men's job losses? Oh. He never disappoints, does he? Don Gubb says, see Tucker now blaming women for men's job losses? Yeah. Oh boy. Ace of Cups. Ace of Wands. Two of Swords, Three of Pentacles. It should be a legal choice, but you have to get Republicans on board. You can't pass the anti-lynching bill if you can't get Republicans on board with it. Yep, Ruthie Tucker never fails to disappoint. Doxy Mom says, let's see if a woman can take Tucker's job. Yeah, her name's Rachel Maddow. And she gets better ratings than he does. To Rachel Maddow, God bless you. Electra Storm says Congress has to change in order for this bill to pass. Debsy says Frucker Carlson needs to ask the wizard for a brain. Yes, Citrino, and she is LGBT, yes. Not only a woman, but a gay woman. Ratings better than yours. We like her. We don't like you. Knight of Cups. Yeah, the people trying to get this through. Hello. Hate crime. Hello. Justice. High Priestess. Page of Pentacles. Two of Pentacles. Page of Cups. There are laws already in place, and this way you don't anger the narrow-minded, racist, blankety blanks. It might upset them. But as we move more, as Democrats gain more power, because again, I talked about this before, that book, The Pendulum. It's about how in our society, every about 40 years-ish, 50 years-ish, there's a swing back and forth between a focus on me, I, like in the 80s, to we're in this together. Actually, it is like more like 50. It is more like 50 years, because you had like the 1930s and the New Deal and all this kind of stuff, which is a focus on we. And then you get the 80s where it was all about me, greed is good. And now we're swinging back. And we'll go too far this way, and then we'll swing back, and we'll go too far that way, and then we'll swing back and go too far this way. And that's what we're doing. But we're going up toward, we're not at peak we yet. And that's what's coming. I'm not getting this thing passing. Electra Storm says, I'm so tired of white supremacists controlling things. Yes. See, Torino, upsetting them, too bad. Well, they're killing off their base as it is. They need the racists to side with them. I'm serious. They don't have the numbers to win many races as it is, without gerrymandering and all this kind of stuff. Electra Storm says, can we just have a happy middle? Why such extremes? Because we're having a Pluto return, so that's fixed emotion. It's deeply emotional power. It's about power. It's in our second house, the country's second house of values and valuables. And Pluto doesn't play. So I believe this, and everybody digs their heels in. Yeah. The only, I don't know, there are 4 fixed signs. They're in the middle of each quadrant of astrology. You've got Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, and Aquarius. Scorpios, they're stubborn. Leos are stubborn. Aquarians are stubborn. Taurus is stubborn. Frankly, of the 4, of course, it's debatable. It depends on the person. But of the 4, my experience, Taurians are the most stubborn. At least Scorpios, you can, if you make it an emotional enough, because they're the water sign. They're the fixed water sign. At least if you make enough of an emotional appeal, they can move around a little bit. But it's still life and death to them. So that's why we're going through this. Everybody's digging their heels in and so tense. And yeah, Pluto return. Extra, like the Pluto in the chart just lit up like a very black Christmas tree. A black Christmas tree with blood red ornaments all the way down, and gold and blood red ornaments all the way down. Real gold. Merry Christmas. Merry Pluto return Christmas. Aditya is saying a multi-party system would have been nice, gives more choice to the people. Oh, memories of echoes. My oldest is a Taurus, but she's also very loyal. Oh, I did not mean to imply that Taurians aren't loyal. Oh, nay. No. But there are some good Taurians in this world. Dr. Storm says, so because the U.S. has their house in Pluto, second house, Pluto in the second house will always go from one extreme to the other, never a happy medium? No. It's because right now Pluto in the sky has returned to where it was when the country was founded. So really starting at the near the end of February this coming year, and then off and on for the next couple of years, but really, and we're already in it. It's just lit up Pluto in our chart, in the U.S. chart, which is why we've got these extremes. But Pluto will move on. It just takes 248 years to go around the zodiac. So, Allison Jacobs says it sounds like Melania's Christmas. Memories of echoes. No, not at all. She's as stubborn as a mule. Yep. Black Hat Blue Chairs says my moon is in Taurus. My mother's moon is in Taurus. It's a good place for Taurus. It's a good place for the moon, rather, in the sense that she was always very practical and always wondered what was best for me. They're practical. That's good, but how are we going to get you a salaried job? So, Rhonda Cox says, I'm a Taurus and I'm fabulous. Yes, you are. On both counts. All right. Leah Bachman is saying, my sister is a Scorpio, born October 30th, and is definitely stubborn and set. I'm a Pisces and sometimes have a hard time confronting her. Yeah. Yep. The Scorpios can be scary when they're mad. My scorpion tail. I don't, it's like, I don't need that. So, and Pisces is considered, traditionally, it's the most sensitive of all of the signs. Because it's 1 foot, it's the last sign of the zodiac, and you've got 1 foot on the earth and kind of 1 foot on the other side. Yeah, anyway. All right, there's so many other questions. I don't know how many I could be able to get to, but I'm going to try. Okay. All right, Lynn Halliday had a question. We're at 54 and a bit. Lynn, I have a question about your question. Your question was, will Merrick Garland appoint a special prosecutor before the 2022 midterms? Now, my question is, for what? This says, I'm a Scorpio, don't think I'm stubborn. Oh, laughing emoji. Okay, I was going to say. Renia says, both my parents and my gram were Scorpios. They all at one point raised me. Lord, help me. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. And there are good and bad sides to every sign. And if I ever say anything negative about a sign, Trust me, it's not that it's like, oh, that I don't like that. So I like all the signs. There's beauty and so much to give from each sign. So there's good and bad. Kitty Connell says, I have 2 Taurus children, 1 Taurus daughter-in-law. They are magnificent. I wouldn't say they're stubborn, but they're definitely steadfast. Yes. Yes. January 6th. Thank you, Lynn. Okay. Are you going to... There we go. All right. So now we're at 56, really. Okay. All right. So is Merrick Garland going to appoint a special prosecutor about the January 6th insurrection? Merrick Garland appoint a special prosecutor before the 2022 midterm elections in early November 2022. Will Merrick Garland appoint a special prosecutor in 2022 before the midterm elections to investigate what happened on January 6th insurrection? Feels like he's leaving it up to the select committee for the most part, like what they say he should do. 3 of Cups. Okay. Getting to the bottom of things. Sorry, I don't know what's going on with I've got all the lights on. Let me turn this up because it's getting behind me. It's starting to feel like I'm in a scorpion cave. If I do this, is that too much? Oh, that's good. No, that's too much. There, that's better. I'll do that. There. Okay. Yeah, we'll do that. There we go. All right, now I'll be able to see the cards. At 58. All right, Merrick Garland. Will you appoint a special prosecutor to investigate the January 6, 2021 insurrection before the midterms? All right, so we've got Democrats. We're really getting information. This January 6th Select Committee is doing such good work. They really are. I get such good energy for once on some kind of committee doing something. Faye, he's much better. Thank you. King of Pentacles. King of Swords, that's a prosecutor. 8 of Pentacles. 7 of Swords, Magician. Could be. Actually, no. It doesn't feel like it. It feels like these Republicans who were involved in the insurrection, it's like they get referred. And also they have their own lawyers for things that they did, the work that they did to try to steal the election. And it's what's referred to the DOJ, the regular prosecutors, using laws that are on the books. I would have thought these 2 cards would be special prosecutor, but it doesn't feel like it. Has anybody else looked at this? Yes, nobody's 100% on these kinds of readings. It's usually the consensus among readers is the most accurate. But Lonnie Ann, Laney Ann? I'm sorry. Garland has millions of documents to sort through. Give him a break. Oh, I'm not giving him any grief here whatsoever. I'm asking if he's going to appoint a special. I'm trying to figure out if he's going to appoint a special prosecutor, because that's what Lynn was asking. Well, they're like, will you appoint a special prosecutor to prosecute, to investigate, prosecute? Black Hat says, I'm getting he will prosecute the committee referrals. That's what I'm getting. Okay, thank you. Thank you. Page of Wands. The message. Ten of Swords. What they did. The insult to injury, going after them aggressively for laws that are already there, referrals given to them, and it's going to stick. That's what I'm getting. It will take some time, though, which is going to be really annoying. But that's what I'm getting. Thank you, Deb. Thank you. Makes a difference. Thank you. Betty Harper says, and it is going to be delicious. I like that. Thank you, Black Cat. That was kind of you. All right. Deb. Thank you. Okay, at 102, Taylor Budowich. I don't know if I'm saying his name correctly. Please correct me if I am wrong. Taylor Budowich. Oh boy. Okay. Taylor Budowich was Trump's spokesperson, has sued the House committee to block their receiving his financial records. The committee is looking into the 501c4 organization that Budowich supposedly hired to run ads promoting the rally, which turned into a riot. So he's trying to stop them from getting his financial records in relation to that. Okay. Will he succeed? And is there more than this they will find if the committee, if they get the records, will they find even more? And then there's another question about him. So, and I was responding to someone in the chat. Oh, okay. Louise Cherry saying it sounds crooked. Karen B saying following the money. Oh, yeah. So Taylor Budowich saying the committee can't look at his financial records for a 501c4 organization you set up. You do not have a leg to stand on. Legal legs, you have none. The stool upon which you sit has no legs. Hippie Sue says, is this guy that just dumped thousands of documents on the January 6th committee? That's next. That's next. But right now, that's the committee, that's the government. Okay. It's also, it can be a company as well, but this feels like the government. Okay. That's the card for the reading. Queen of Swords. Nine of Pentacles. We want the stuff. I'm too important for the likes of you. That is trying to overturn the election, get this far-right victory. Ace of Cups, Ace of Pentacles. We want your stuff. Biden won. We have a select committee. We want your stuff. At first I was thinking, is this, he just feels like, see, I can counter your argument. But he ends up handing over the stuff anyway, is kind of what it feels like. It's like it has two meanings. But hello, Cecilia. Jolie S. says, I get he's been doing some creative counting. Oh, thank God for stupid criminals. If there have to be criminals, thank the divine. So many of them are just dumb as a rock. Taylor Budowich. That's the card of the thief. Page of Swords, Eight of Swords, Eight of Pentacles. I'm going to be a bully. I'm going to say no. And you're going to be completely hemmed in by the law. All the stuff you worked on, turn it over. And I think you're right. It's a thief card. Creative accounting? Yes. Doxy Mom says maybe he has donors he's hiding. That could be a thing. Lady Ann says creative accounting is like alternative facts. Yes. Yep. Desrat says the government wheels will grind you into cookie flour. All right, so the next question about Budowich at 107 in a bit. See how this work? All right, so Taylor Budowich had also previously been cooperating with the committee and turned over more than 1,700 documents for their review. Is there anything in there particularly troubling? Oh, Pamela has another round of coffee. Thank you. So, the 1,700 documents you turned over, anything questionable? No name here says Eight of Pentacles equals making hubcaps. Look at that. King of Pentacles. So much, so full of himself, but it's like just this little tiny person. I'm important. To shrink a whole person down to being about like this tall, as is. I'm important. You're not. I know the president. Just such tiny. I'm a big manly man. I'm gonna look at this person looks like. Oh, yeah. All right. Let's have a quick look since we've been looking at this person. So you know, these are January 6th committee ramps up efforts to uncover funding behind the Capitol riots. Trump flack cooperates with the January 6th committee, then hits the brakes. Trump spokesman sues the January 6th panel over access to financial records. Blah, 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 blah. Images. This guy. Taylor Budowich. So if you're wondering, apparently this is what he looks like. Mr. Important. Yeah. There you go. That's him. Mr. Important. All right. Faces, would he try to say executive privilege? Probably. Oh, refusal to cooperate. That was the plan. They had a plan, and he's a fool. Slather your head in butter. You are toast. There we go. It's a little bit better. All right. At 111, let's have a look at. I want to look at an overall. I'm going to do the quickest overloaded Celtic cross I can do, because 10 states have deeply contested midterm Senate races that threaten the tenuous control that the Democrats have over the Senate. Will the Dems be able to eke by in 2022? So rather than try to look at each one, just like, because that's a lot of energy to sort through, I figured I'd just do an overloaded Celtic as the 10 states with these contested Senate races: Pennsylvania, Georgia, Arizona, Wisconsin, Nevada, North Carolina, Ohio, New Hampshire, Florida, and Michigan. Overloaded Celtic. Way too many cards, but that's just how I roll. All right, contested Senate seats and who's going to win control of the Senate with the 2022 midterm elections. Fingers crossed. Knight of Pentacles. Well, they're saying it's a done deal. It's practically a done deal. The Republicans are going to win. Well, let's see. In the past, choices. Yeah, that's just voting, one or the other, kind of back and forth. Okay, fair enough. Center of this reading, Republicans are sitting pretty, apparently. Hanging above this is the fact that voters are suffering, and they're having real problems. This isn't even necessarily bad for Republicans, the Republican leaders. It can be that Republican voters are so upset with their situation that they won't really want to vote against Democrats. But this is not a good situation. Base of the reading, the base of this is a cult-like following of a star, a celebrity. That's what's at the base of this. Home environment. So January 6th committee is what I get for that. This is also the card, the merchant, jobs and what have you, but I get committee. All right. Hopes and fears. Justice. Cards are coming up the same way they always come up for me. Something is going to come out where these Republicans are going to get hit really hard with what comes out about the insurrection and things that were done, and people turn against Republicans for being corrupt. But let's see. All right, hopes and fears, justice. I would have preferred if that was in the final outcome, but sure. What other people see? Page of Pentacles. Just going along like they can do no wrong, they can do whatever they want. This is a if you'll excuse the term, a Chad. entitled, not all Chads are like that, but and there's probably someone watching who's named Chad, who's a very nice person. I don't know what to use. I wish they wouldn't use actual names to describe these kinds of people. Like there wasn't I wish there was a shorthand that wasn't a person's name. The challenge, far right communication, the people watching Newsmax and Fox and poor little Tuck Tuck. All right. Near future 1 and 2, final outcome 1, 2, and 3. Near future 1, Queen of Pentacles. Near future 2, King of Swords. Final outcome 1, 3 of Wands. Final outcome 2, Ace of Pentacles. Final outcome 3. That's Republicans feeling like they've got it made in the shade. They're fine. That's a prosecutor. Final outcome is what they put out coming back to them, plus donations and things like this. But this 8 of Wands is sending a lot of things through the air, but they're not landing. Do you know what I mean? Let me see if I can get more information on that. These contested races. Will Republicans regain control with these 10 states and whatnot? Will Republicans regain control of the Senate? Regain control of the Senate. Electra Storm is saying that Representative Madison Cawthorn's recent interview with the Daily Caller, he discusses meeting his wife at a casino in St. Petersburg. Oh, Susie Two-Time, that's a good question. I have my questions for today, I'm afraid, but I'll be back here tomorrow. So if you throw that back in the chat, certainly it's really good. Just right before I come on, I'll be happy to read on that. Ace of Swords, Sword of Truth, Law. Presidents are not kings, and plaintiff is not president. That is beautiful. That was beautiful wording. Magician, 4 of Swords, 7 of Wands, 8 of Wands, High Priestess. Well, this is someone standing up. Not enough voters. Swords is voting. Wands are the far right. It begins with a magician, someone standing up, major arcana. Ends with the High Priestess, which is secrets or higher wisdom. It's also black and white. Black and white. It has various meanings. These are major arcana, where it begins and ends. There are going to be plenty of Republicans who will vote for Republicans if they did anything. Pluto return. Everybody's fixed. Everybody's dug in. But because of the far right and things that were done, I'm getting not quite enough voters. And they're killing off their voters too. how anyone thought that would be a good strategy, or, I don't know, human decency. Oh, yoy. Three cards. Who wins? Which party wins the Senate? Which party is taking control of the Senate in 2023? Laurel Sorensen saying, is the Voting Rights Act not being passed complicating the outcome? Could be. Fruits of Labor. Page of Cups. Seven of Cups. The propaganda against the Democrats is effective, but this is people going to prison. So it's not going to be a blowout, but I get Democrats staying in control, but we'll see. Goodness, I'm not going to get anywhere near 12 questions today, but I can get what I can get. I'll be covering more of them tomorrow. 122. 122. And thank you so much for being here. It means a lot. Okay, the House Committee is waiting for, hang on, let me just sneak in a sip. The House Committee is waiting for the courts to settle Trump's claim of executive privilege before getting his phone records from the National Archives. One of the calls they're interested in is the call he reportedly made to the Willard Hotel the day before the insurrection to talk personally to those who led it. Will justice finally be served? Will we know exactly what he demanded of them, and if he was the one who made the call for the riot to take place? So oh, he's gonna play. Oh, I'm getting him completely play. Oh, I'm innocent. I don't know anything about that. Like that deposition where he's like, I can't read that. I don't have my glasses. Suddenly he's like a floppy fish. Just, I don't know. I Strength. All right, good. Taming the orange beast. Quieting down the orange beast. Refusal to cooperate. 2 of Cups. 6 of Cups. Hanged Man. That's walking right into the middle of the riot and who was talking to whom. This is the only major arcana here other than strength. Trump, you are so going to lose. You are so going to lose. I'm not going to work with you. Well, you should. And this is the Democrats, the committee getting what they're looking for, working right through it. It's a sunshiny day, and the suspension of this our stupid argument, and it feels like walking right into the middle of what was going on. I don't know if it's going to be exactly in Trump's phone records, but that will help. Don Gubb says, I've never seen 45 wearing glasses. Have you? Nope. at 1:25:15. 1:25, let's make it 30. It's kind of interesting. So apparently Lauren Boebert elected in part by far-right GOP dark money groups? Because there's apparently there were dark money groups who were throwing a lot of money at Colorado, I believe, who say that they were thinking that a Republican would never win again in Colorado, so they started all kinds of stuff there. Apparently, I don't know. But the question is she a puppet for a more sinister agenda? Well, I don't know. Her agenda's pretty sinister. I mean, the far-right agenda is pretty sinister all on its own. But was she a part of anything nefarious? She is nefarious. Let's just see what we get. Electra Storm says, I think Russia is part of the dark money groups. There we go. Devil. That's not an auspicious beginning. Death card. 6 of Swords. 2 of Swords. 4 of Cups. Page of Pentacles. Well, their plan isn't working. That's what it comes down to. This is interesting, though. That's about Lauren Boebert and dark money groups and nefarious goings on. That's an election. That's a decision. That's convincing Republicans, or that's convincing voters to not vote for Democrats. But Democrats, no. Creating new people to vote Republican. That's what this is. But it's minor arcana. This, however, leading up to this, I got a major arcana. I've got the Death card, and then I've got the going up the river. It could be smuggling weapons. It could be someone going to prison for murder. It could be this is uncharted for me. I don't know what, because the question's kind of nebulous. I'm getting a very sinister beginning to this. And then it makes sense. The energy makes sense. But this, what were you doing? Nah. Gary Atkins says she is not the sharpest knife in the drawer. Mm-hmm. Dave says she is only truly sinister in a pickup truck. Krista March is saying she isn't even in the drawer. Alicia Marie says perhaps underground. Yeah. Boeberts, the people behind Boeberts. Is there something nefarious? Like, is it Russia? Is it like super scary, sketchy? Trying to get control of government. Electra Storm is saying, thanks to the Supreme Court, dark money runs our elections now. It doesn't run it, but boy, is it contributing. I'm just going to, that's my opinion. Electra, you're awesome. Queen of Wands, 7 of Cups, World. Like Boebert, thinking that she's this queen of the far, far, far right, lying about what Democrats are about. What are we doing tonight? What are we doing tonight, Brain? Doing the same thing we do every night, Pinky. going to come up with a plan to take over the world. Yeah, that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to get power. You're trying to take over the world. You started with Lauren Boebert. I'm sorry, that's just so funny. You want to take over the world and you started with Lauren Boebert. You put her up. Boy, you are Spectre, aren't you? Oh, evil geniuses, huh? That's the beginning of your plan. You got Lauren Boebert into office. I just find that hysterical. So he says it is hilarious. Okay, it's not just me. We have our sinister plan. We're going to take over the world. Yes, how are we going to do it, Master? We're going to take over the government. Oh, good, Master. How are we going to take over the government? We're going to start by getting Lauren Boebert into office. Okay, Master, and then what? Well, that is the beginning of our devious plan. That is the cornerstone, we shall knock the keystone down of the government. Lauren Boebert. Yes, Master. Boebert. 132:30. Okay. A police captain in Houston, Texas, was paid over $200,000 by Trumpian supporters to hunt ballots for His Orangeness. This resulted in the captain ramming his truck into an election worker's car and holding them by gunpoint while he demanded they turn over 750,000 supposedly stolen ballots that didn't exist. Did Trump know about what some of these groups carried out in his name? Were any incidents like this sanctioned? He tends to insulate himself from a lot of this kind of stuff, but King of Cups. Temperance. No, he didn't know. The people who set it up were really mad. Really mad. But no, this wasn't a bigger conspiracy. This was down-home stupidity. You are a moron. Yeah, the message, the far-right message. And it didn't go so well for you. So... $750,000 stolen ballots. Holding the gunpoint while he demanded they turn over 750,000 of supposedly stolen ballots that didn't exist. He was paid over $200,000. You are a pawn. You are a Republican pawn. Tower. Oh no, the dynasties being brought down. We must use stupidity and violence and corruption and evilness to save the dynasty from crumbling. Okie doke. I love when I can make you guys laugh. That makes my day. I'm serious. All right, let me see if I can squeeze in one more. Renee was asking, where are we? 136. 136. Why is Trump suddenly supporting the vaccine and the booster? Alex Jones said he was either ignorant or evil for encouraging people to take the vaccine. What is 45 really up to? And as I mentioned earlier, what's her name? Candace Owen said that the only reason Trump's pushing the vaccine now is because he's old and doesn't understand how to use the internet. And I also said earlier, I do so love when they turn on each other. Really? So what is Trump up to something nefarious, or is this just a CYA situation, which I think is probably the case, but let's see. 45. That's so nice not checking in with him all the time. I think I'm going to live longer because I don't touch on that energy as much. King of Cups. Biden won. Hey, Trump. Biden won. Yeah, Trump has actually admitted it, too. He's actually said, well, when we lost the election, and just kept going. He knows he lost. You know he lost all along. Page of Pentacles. Eight of Wands, Four of Swords, Knight of Wands, Two of... Should I laugh or scream? Okay. The reason that Trump was against the vaccine and against all of this stuff was because it would make him look weak. I mean, it's hard for me to wrap my head around this, but that's the case. If there was a virus, it would make him look bad. If there was a pandemic and there wasn't yet any kind of cure or anything, he would look weak. He would look bad. Therefore, it's all fake news. It's all fake. Scientists are the enemy. All those people died. He doesn't care. He doesn't care. I cannot express to people who are not willing to listen what narcissism really is. They grant him sensitivity and emotion and patriotism and all of these things that he is not even remotely, not even a little, not even for like a split second of, well, maybe I could be patriotic and decent. Nah, no, it doesn't even come up. It made him look weak. And now the reason he's saying, yeah, get vaccinated is because, well, that was that lie for that purpose. And now, yeah, you get it done now because it's the Trump vaccine. And the fact that it's like, we're not stupid. He treats us like we are. He thinks other people are stupid. He thinks he's a medieval king. where everyone is beholden to him, and he is perfect. Whatever works for him, that's what's true. And I won the election, even though he knows he didn't. Seven of Cups, Sun, Queen of Cups. It's expediency. That's why he's doing it. Katie Arbuckle says, but it did make him look weak because he did the opposite. True. Azalea says, I wonder if Trump secretly likes Biden. Actually, Trump is better on Biden because Biden said something positive about him. I forget what, but something. And now Trump isn't as angry at Biden. Yeah, exactly, Hippie Sue. Was this before or after Biden praised him? Yeah. Black Hat Blue Chair saying whatever works for him at that moment. Exactly. Yeah. Yep. So I am going to save the question about Deutsche Bank for tomorrow so I don't shortchange the answer, Renee. I'll put that first for tomorrow. And I do want to just briefly, 142, we're going to leave off today with a question, a science question. Scientists are hotly debating the presence of phosphine gases and abiotic life on Venus, if it exists. Not only is there some life proven on one of our sister planets, but it gives hope of possible future terraforming. Could Venus be colonized sooner than we think? Okay. A couple of years ago, I actually did 2 readings. One was on will we terraform Mars, and one was will we terraform Venus. And it blows my mind that to this day, I did the recordings, and the recordings just vanished off my computer. That never happens. It just poof, gone. So I've never been able to bring out those because I can't find them. They just disappeared. Anyway, when I read about terraforming Mars and terraforming Venus, what I got was everybody's really excited about Mars. And they go there. And we get a colony going. And there are people born there, and we get all these firsts, you know. And then crickets. We scientists going there, but that low gravity, that's brutal. That is brutal on the human body. And there's no magnetosphere to speak of. And so there's all kind of radiation. There's all kinds of electrostorm. Isn't it really hot or really cold on Venus? It is insanely hot. Think over 900 degrees Fahrenheit. So that's that. And then when I was reading on Will We Terraform Venus, what I got was it takes a lot longer because there's so much pressure. They send landers down on the Russians sent landers down onto the surface of Venus, and maybe they lasted a few hours tops. And that wasn't the first one. The first one they sent down, it like lasted, I can't remember, but I mean, just imagine like 20 minutes and then killed it. The air it's just sulfuric acid. It's like 900 degrees Fahrenheit. It's just awful. But here's the thing. If we can find a way to terraform Venus, it's almost exactly the same size as Earth. And I want to say it has a magnetosphere. I'm not sure. I have to look that up. But if we could go there Yeah, the atmosphere, the pressures, yeah, it'll crush humans. Yeah. You think you hurt when there's like a change in barometric pressure. Like makes your joints hurt. Oh, this would crush you flat. Yeah. It's really ugly right now. But if we could terraform it, it would make a lot of sense. Other than the fact that it's also it's not rotating properly, but it's the same size as Earth. We can say that. So, but what surprised me is when I did the reading, what I got was that the Mars people are racing ahead with their colonization. Ha ha ha! They're kind of laughing at the Venus people who want to go to Venus and terraform. They're like ha ha ha, and these people are like, oh, yeah, fine, and there was kind of a lighter color, like the color of that sandy red color of Mars energy of we're going to do the thing. And then the color for Venus, it was much more just energetically, it was more of a black color. So it was much more dour and trying to figure out how to make this work. And it's so deadly. And what I got was eventually we will terraform Venus. The problem is going to be, once we terraform it, what I kept getting was toxins in the soil. It's like, oh, I did not expect that, but that's what I was getting. So, but talking about this idea of possibly some life on Venus, somewhere. Two of Cups. Have to be pretty hardy. 9 of Wands, 9 of Cups, Page of Cups. This is a lot of people looking at. You have to think of it as, what I'm getting is, you think about it step by step. Where did life originate? On Earth, it was in the shallows. When, way billions of years ago, when the moon was like right there. I was like, hi. And the moon's been steadily moving away ever since. But anyway, the moon was like right there. And in the shallows, and the oceans were doing this up and down for high and low tides. And there were all this electricity constant and all this kind of stuff. And no, there wasn't any oxygen, to speak of. That came later. So you don't need oxygen to start life. But once you've got the little bits, how do those little bits grow? And ecosystems and. Well, on Venus, if say way back when, maybe they had some sort of a liquid, water-ish or liquid on the surface. Maybe they had something, but it didn't evolve past that certain point. And as things became more and more toxic, at this point, if there's any life left, it's up in the atmosphere. That would, to end up with life in the atmosphere and nothing on the ground at all, that's pretty specialized. And you'd think there would have to be a number of steps in between. How did it get up there? If it would have had to have been here under these conditions, and it would have had to change enough to be able to survive up there when winds or whatever blew in the there. It feels like there are some steps missing, is what it feels like. I I've always been fascinated by Venus. I've never quite understood the whole Mars thing. Andy Weir's book, The Martian, was like the first time it was like, oh, okay, that's really, I mean, I love space stuff, but I have never been as excited about Mars as I have at the thought of Venus. I don't know why. It makes no sense. Venus is completely uninhabitable currently, but Electrostorm says, will alien technology help us survive up there? I'm not an alien person. King of Swords. There's a lot of... there was a Ben Bova book about Venus, where people went to Venus. That was fascinating. It's expensive. You're going to lose a lot of money. And you're going to have to fight like the Dickens to make any progress on Venus. It is a long slog. And the only thing I can think of is that if they could come up with a way. Do you remember in the movie Aliens, they went down to, I used to know the designation of the planet. That planet, I can't think of it. But where the colonists were. There were these great big machines that were the terraforming, like giant machines, terraforming. I was thinking if you have something, if you can create these big machines, you don't need nuclear power or whatever else. You can power it just by the actual heat that's there. You want to change the atmosphere. Just drop one of these down there. Have it start processing atmosphere. Although the sheer amount of planet we're dealing with here. Think of the entire Earth. This is the size of the Earth. So wouldn't one machine drop there? Is it going to terraform the whole thing? No. But thank you, DoxyMom, LB426. Thank you. But you've got a massive imbalance there. You can harness for power. Just a thought. Michael Grant says those from Venus love Mars bars, but Venus is conjunct Pluto and Capricorn, so everyone is on a diet. Those from Venus like Mars. You're funny. Karen B says also look at Graham Hancock's books. Oh, ooh, there we go. See, Torino says go the other way, Jupiter. Moons of Jupiter could have water. Azalea says it would be nice to find a planet like Earth, but bigger. You would get crushed by the gravity. That's the problem. So anyway. All right. Well, that's going to do it for me for today. It's 2:04, but thank you so much. Thank you. I really do appreciate you being here and joining me. I love talking with you guys, and then we look at all this interesting stuff together. So thank you. Yeah, that's going to do it for me today. It's 2:05 here in Chicago right now. At 4 o'clock, I'll be over at Book Art Media on the Book Art Media YouTube channel, where we do 4 25-minute creative sprints. Bring your creative projects, doesn't matter what it is, anything, and make some progress on your kind of creative expression, your creative dreams, that sort of thing. The world needs your creative energy. It does. It makes everything better. It's good for your health. It's good for your physical health, your mental health, your emotional health. And that's why I'm trying to promote it. It's not even monetized. I'm not trying to sell you anything. The world needs your creative expression, your creative energy. It helps. All right. Other than that, I will be right back here tomorrow at 12 o'clock Chicago time, Central Time in the U.S., and then the day after that and the day after that, because I am always here 365 days of the year. All right. Hang in there. Don't forget, you are never truly alone. And there are good days ahead. There are. All right. So take care. Thank you, guys.